I kid you not, one of the most horrible experiences that a man can have in his life is the outward display, the outward disrespect of his woman, whether privately, uh, in the home in front of the children, or publicly, outside, Facebook, YouTube, whatever. We live in a world today where the modern day black woman has literally lost her mind and is not living in any kind of subjective reality whatsoever. Let me explain. It's one thing to say this, that, and the third about black women, or women in general today, because this is a larger issue. This has nothing to do with just black women. This is just women today in general, the feminist movement today. And I can get up here and I can talk about my experiences, but it's another thing to get up on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram and watch women like Jada Pinkett Smith, women like Brittany Renner, and all of the women that get up on social media talking about all types of crazy stuff. And you see these women are just gone out of their mind. Who can say that Nicki Minaj is a healthy woman? Who can say that Jada Pinkett Smith is a healthy woman in the mind? Who can say that Meg Thee Stallion or any of these people, Dwayne's wife, the basketball player, his wife, can you say any of these women are, they're just practically gone? And when you get to a point in society where, women don't respect men, especially in marriage. It's one thing to date somebody or just be around somebody. And Kevin Samuels talks about that a lot, but when you're dealing with the outright flagrant disrespect of women towards men, it's gone too far. And what we're dealing with again today is women that are married and are engaging in activities that outright disrespect and degrade their women. I'm gonna play a video, and just the audio is audio only for copyright. But this shows you the mentality of women today. This is a interview that Jada Pinkett Smith is doing with some woman and another actress, and I want you to listen to what she has to say.
Your partner to know, especially when it comes to sex.
Right.
It's like, well, if you love me, you should know.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. If you love me,
you should be able to read
you
my
should
mind.
read my mind.
Yeah.
You know what I
that's
mean?
A huge pitfall.
That's a huge pitfall.
Yeah.
This pleasure doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No. It's not even thought about.
No.
Big man thing, yeah? Is it...
So, clearly what Jada said is that basically he should be able to read her mind instead of her simply just saying XYZ 1 2 3. He should be able to read her mind. Now, when you have women that think like this, you can clearly tell that they weren't raised to be wives. See, we clearly see in the scriptures what it means to be a wife, that a wife is supposed to obey her husband, that a wife is supposed to honor and reverence her husband, that when she represents her husband, she's supposed to represent him in such a way that it brings honor to that house. And what you're seeing today on average, now this is an average type of situation, because not only are millionaire men going through this, average men are going through this as well, where, they're coming home to women that want to argue, fuss, and fight. And I'm talking about women that don't even work, let alone women that work, but women that don't work, that want to come home and argue and fuss and fight, that disrespects their husbands, that get on social media and disrespect their husbands. These women are dogs. They're nothing but dogs. But see, again, we live in a world where if a man slaps a woman in public, right, there's all sorts of outrage. There's all sorts of dishonor and outrage that is accredited to that man. But if a woman turns around and calls a man out his name, calls him all types of bees and hoes and this and the third, that pretty much is okay. Because see, when you get to this kind of point, you see the moral parameters in which society is functioning off of. What did Malcolm X say? A society cannot elevate any higher than the, what did he say? He said the moral compass or something of its women. And it's a sad deal to see this man go through a situation where this woman is actively sleeping with other men, where this woman is getting up on doing videos, dishonoring, disrespecting this man, and he's taking it. I mean, you know, the interesting thing to see also is his response, and then when you see the status of the children and how bonked and zonked and the children they lost their minds, and this is the direct result of what happens when men you choose to get involved with and deal with and procreate with damaged, broken women. I've yet to see cases where these things come out well, you see? Now, there's always going to be an exception to the rule. A perfect example, you know, I look at my life and I am the exception to the rule. According to what society has said, I should have been in jail, selling drugs, this and the third, because of my socioeconomic status growing up, as well as the family structure. You know what I'm saying? Especially growing up in the 70s during the crack epidemic inside the projects. However, I was able to, through a higher power, I was able to open up and lead a different life. So that doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, just because someone was raised a certain way, that they're going to be a certain way. However, what we're looking at is the vast majority of times is that women like this, you can clearly tell that this woman was not raised to be a wife. You can clearly tell that this woman has no kind of dignity, honor, and respect whatsoever for herself or her household, just by the way that she functions. And you have women today coming up, you know, I see on Facebook, you know, I'm going to be on this Jada shit. I'm getting on my Jada move. It was prophesized that the status of the woman would get worse and worse. And this is where we are. You're dealing with men that 60%, I think, like 40 or 60% of men are choosing not to get married because men choose marriage. Why would you marry someone like this, especially when you want to build? Why would you put yourself in a situation where you have to constantly come home to heartache, pain, stress, anxiety, and you have to go out and build and provide for your family? This makes absolutely no sense. You would think that a wise woman builds her house up, but a foolish woman tears it down to the ground. I'm seeing personally exactly situations where brothers are going through this kind of stuff, where they're married to women that they ain't wives. They ain't wives. These women ain't wives. They're concubines at best. They're rowdy. They're boisterous. They're in their feelings and emotions. They make their decisions off of feelings and emotions. They don't have any kind of leadership in terms of their mothers. They don't have any kind of leadership in terms of their fathers. They don't have leadership in terms of cousins or aunts or anybody that can direct them. And this is what you get. This is the direct result of what you get. And the key about it is that these people think that they're right. But when you look at their socioeconomic situation, it's all wrong. How can you help and save somebody like this? You can't. You gotta, hey, get rid of women like this, because she'll just, and he's talking about committing suicide and everything. Bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. But this is where we are in society today. And it's very unfortunate to see men go through this kind of stuff, because see, my house, I just can't deal with that. You know what I'm saying? The idea is that You ain't for the law, statutes, and commandments. You ain't interested in playing your role as I play my role or whatever. There is no ability to build family. There is none whatsoever. And again, you see a sad situation today where, I make a joke, and I've been making this joke for years, that we're in a tertiary market where the secondary market is gone. To find a woman of the Bible, a woman that was raised to be a wife, a woman that's a chaste virgin, a woman that had a mother and father in their life, a woman that knows how to cook, clean, tend to a home, be submissive, be obedient and quiet, not loudmouth and boisterous. That's a rare thing. And this was talked about many years ago, where we're in a situation where we're going to have to raise the daughters of Zion. We're going to have to raise women to be this way, because see, if they haven't been this way and they haven't trained this way, or they don't have a renewing of their minds, you're going to get the same kind of destruction. You're going to get the same kind of heartache and pain. Because see, you look at these men today, who really has any real man looking to be like, we look at it as a shame. Beta male simp Will Smith. This is how these men are perceived and reviewed. It's just like, why would you have this woman and put yourself in a situation? Never done it. Listen here. I ain't about to put up with a stressful situation. But this man is saying that he's being driven to suicide off of this situation. And the thing about it is, he has enough money to go on and be with somebody else. It's just unfortunate. I don't know Will Smith, but I know brothers that are going through this kind of stuff. And I tell you, man, it is gut-wrenching. It is heart-wrenching to see. You can't build with something that's broken. Take it from a carpenter. You cannot build with something that's shattered. It has to be repaired first. And if you have the ability to repair it spiritually, emotionally, and have the time and energy and effort to build, then go ahead and do what you got to do. But you got to have a willing and cooperative mind. If you don't have a willing and cooperative mind on the other side, you ain't got nothing. All you got is stress. And then see, what happens again is that other people see this. It's amazing to get reports back of people that are married, and then other people around them are seeing their wives being disrespectful, or their wife being disrespectful. Their wife, especially if you're in a leadership position. Oh, that woman don't respect him. Oh, she's always acting an attitude. Or she's always huffing and puffing. Or everybody see it. How do you think that man is viewed? Be very careful who you lay down with and get up with. Seek qualified elders, people that have experience, like, you can see their work, you can see their experience, because a lot of these people out here, they ain't got no experience at all they got to do is words and theories that they want to practice on you, but they got no real fruit whatsoever. It's a damn shame. But get with qualified people that know how to vet people, so that you're not in situations like this. Because once it goes down and you're in a situation, it's in, and nobody can say, you can't rewind, turn back the hands of time. And you've lost time, energy, effort, resources, dealing with something that's dead. Again, a sad deal to see what's going on. But the fortunate thing is that we have these examples, whether it's Rainier or Nicki Minaj or Jaden Pinkett Smith or your local brother, your sister, or your cousin that's going through this kind of stuff, that you see a husband going through this kind of stuff. It's out there. And the idea is that those are living examples, bad living examples, that you can see and say, you know what? That ain't going to be me. and then put in a good plan to ensure that you have to deal with that. It would literally break my heart if I found out that I spent all these years of my life raising daughters just for them to turn around and be nasty and vile and disrespectful to their husbands. That shows no honor to me as a man. Not follow the word, you'll be okay. Or else you're going to end up like Will Smith.